What up, people? It's Nickopz here, and today I'm going to be talking about Geras. I feel like Geras has went through enough changes to warrant another video about him. In case you don't know, in the most recent patch, he got buffed, and I feel like a lot of people are wrong about this character with how they're playing him, the current opinion on him, and everything. So, first things first, let's talk about the biggest change that he got. There were other changes, but the most important one is this. This now allows a pop-up at the end. And since this being a cameo game, he can combo off of so many different cameos now with his command grab. Now, his command grab, as you can see, setting Liu Kang right here to duck and not block. As you can see, if he meter burns it, it is a mid, which is very good. Now, if he does regular, it's not. So essentially, he has a mid command grab now if he spins bar that gives him a launcher. And as you can see with my cameo, this segues into the first thing about Geras. So in case you didn't watch my last video, I did a video talking about like the top 100 players in the world on the leaderboards right now and who they're using. And when I looked at it, if you look at it, you can see there's two Gerases there. And the Geras players are both still using Mavado. And I genuinely cannot understand why they are still using Mavado. I feel like Mavado gives him good tools. It makes him much better. It was his best cameo before, but I think it's Mavado now. And the common thing that's been going around in the community right now is Geras is cracked. People are saying Geras is cracked now with all these changes, which it isn't making sense because a lot of the Geras players haven't migrated to his new best cameo, in my opinion. And everyone's saying like, oh, Geras is really good now, but I personally not so sure about that. I'm going to talk about why and then give my final take on it. So, again, why I think Mavado is his best cameo now is purely because of the offense. Now, Mavado gives him pressure and damage if you have those frame perfect combos, but I don't think you could beat good old classic offense. This new era is about offense. All the new fighting games, Tekken, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat has been about offense, but still, it's all about offense now. And I feel like the changes that he's gotten over time with the overhead popping up now and the command grab popping up now, I feel like it's time for those people to branch off of Mavado. And let me show you why. So with this last change, like 2 patches ago, them buffing this, that gave him a launcher off of Mavado. But that wasn't enough to warrant switching off of Mavado. And I completely understand that. But I do believe now being able to pop up from the command grab and the overhead. Matter of fact, let me always turn that frame data on. With the overhead being 19 frames and the low being 14, you can pretty much like fuzzy guard him, but a lot of people are still going to get hit by these options. Like they're always guessing in between all of these options, the command grab, the low, the overhead, and they're all relatively around the same frame where people aren't really going to be reacting to all those 3 options. So to start off, why I think Mavado is his best assist now. So the overhead. Now again, you don't get safety with Geras off of the overhead. So you have to throw it out as a risk. So you do that right there. Then you just go into one of his basic B&Bs. And actually it's that right there. So you would do basic B&B, something like that off of the overhead. Then he also has the low, which is usually kind of a detriment for him to use because the second hit of this low Gatlins into the third, no matter what, unless you cancel it. And the reason Geras was so good like at the beginning of the game is because he had Lao Hat to keep him +2 off of a lot of these situations. And he didn't have to worry about it. He could always throw it out. Now, he can't throw this out as much as Lao Hat, but Mavado has the back Mavado. So you could still do the low, and now you're +7 in their face, which is really good. It takes away the weakness of the low being the Gatling, and you could also just choose to hit confirm off of it if the low does hit, of course, like usual. So he has an actual real low now that he could just throw out and not have to worry about being so negative off of it. And he's just plus off of the low. And off of the low, he could still, get his confirms and everything like he always could. It's just another option to complement the overhead. So he has the low now, not the low now, he has the overhead now, and then he has the low like he been had, but now he can keep it plus with back Mavado. And then he also has the command grab. So his offense is actually real now. When Geras is in your face, there's a reason to actually be scared of him. Which before, like, even with Mataro, yeah, he's plus in your face a lot with these mids. Yeah, he could check you with these mids and everything. But I feel like he could do the same thing with Mavado. Yeah, you don't get the low, and it takes much longer for back Mavado to come back. But I think it's worth it when you get all of these pressure options to open the player up. So that's just what I think about it. Again, he doesn't lose the play style that Mataro allows. He loses damage, but he could still just check you in the face with the plus frames if you want, and then he still has the mix-ups to open you up and actually get rewarded instead of like before where he just gets a splat. I think that's amazing, and I feel like more people need to try this cameo out on him. And some other things to mention, he also gets an easy grab combo. Easy grab combo with Mavado. So even if you don't want to command grab all day, you can just regular grab. And look, as you can see, when he grabs, it's funny, they're getting pushed back. Matter of fact, let me just do the grab without the animation. You see, he gets pushed back. He can now also throw out a high overhead into Mavado. And off of this one, you want to do the up one. So, again, that's 5 different ways I've already named that Mavado helps him out. Oh, and another thing. If let's say he gets the grab, and he wants to go for his charges. You get like 2 charges from that. As a matter of fact, to even show it, I'm going to have Liu Kang mash on get up. So, get up on recording, and let me make sure he's mashing. Okay, so he's mashing on get up now. I'm going to do a back grab. After that. Heck, it don't even matter if they get pushed back right there. But he can still get charges for free. So, to give my take on what I think about it now, I feel like Geras still has his main flaws. So the people that are saying he's cracked now because of the changes, I don't think that's right. Because at the end of the day, he still has his main weaknesses. And the biggest weakness is being he's very piss poor in neutral. His neutral is very bad. Absolutely terrible. And there's no way to make his neutral better with giving him all the tools that he needs to still be a good character. Back when Kung Lao Sis was running rampant, it helped him out the most, that +2, because he had the neutral control. He could still go up and pressure you. Him having the low hat just in general was good. But now with the nerfs to low hat, it really hurt him and Omni-Man the most because they needed it for that +2, and it still helped out with the other things. But the final verdict, I would say, is I think he's mid-tier. Just straight up mid-tier now with Mavado. And again, I'm saying that with Mavado. I feel like the tools he gets from Mavado now are undeniable. And I think that a lot of people are still using Mataro out of comfort. But I genuinely think they need to upgrade to this assist because it gives him more options to open you up and actually be a scary character when he's in your face. And I think that's what people should be worried about improving on this character. There's a lot of people that try to put on assists to make up for his piss poor neutral, but his neutral is so bad, there's just no saving that with giving him everything else he needs. There's no saving it. So focus on making him an offensive juggernaut when he's in your face. That's what I think people should do, because with the changes that have been implemented with him over time, and with Mavado being how he is, I definitely think that this is the way to go. But he still has his flaws. He genuinely does. So I just don't agree with people saying that he's like top 10 now or even top 15. I think he's just still mid to lower mid tier. And people play Geras if they like Geras. But if you want to play a character for their tools alone, I still don't think this character is worth it, because there's so many characters that, you know, do what he does but better. And I think he is just okay now. And if you're gonna play Geras, it's just because you like Geras. You're not gonna see this character win any tournaments, really. You're not gonna see this character used amongst high level players, because his neutral is just his. What's the best way to describe it for people who don't really understand what neutral is? His full screen presence and him working his way in is not good. It's just not. There's no way to save it. Like with cameos, his projectile is just too bad, and his buttons are too sluggish and slow for him to really get in. He has to work his way in. But when he finally gets in, he should be absolutely terrifying when he's in your face. And Mavado allows that. So that's why I think Mavado is his best assist now. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And Nickopz out.